All right, folks, hellos. My voice is out as you can see. So we're just going to do a video lesson today for Skill 3A. You should have the notes that you got. So as I go, fill up the notes so that you have the record of the lesson. All right, so today we're going to learn about piecewise function. So what does piecewise function means? Like, look at it. Literally, piecewise function means that the function with different pieces of it. So as you can see for this example, you have one and two different pieces combined together to make a one thing. That's why it's going to be called that. All right, so let's come up with the equation of this weird looking function over there. The first part of the equation, which looks like this, that kind of looks like a half of the parabola, doesn't it? All right, what kind of point does it pass? 0, 0, negative 1, 1, negative 2, 4. So it's just going to be the parent quadratic function y is equal to x squared. All right, what about the second part? It's the linear function, right? Well, linear function has a form of y is equal to mx plus b. M is a slope, b is a y-intercept. Well, that one has a y-intercept at negative 1, so b value is negative 1. Slope is, let's see, 1 up, 1 right, 1 up, 1 right, 1 over 1 is 1, so y is equal to just x minus 1. Cool? All right, now it's asking what x value does the first part cover? All right, so the first part over here, what x value does it cover? I'm going to highlight it. So it starts over here. Well, it starts over here on the negative infinity and it stops right here. So do you agree that the x value for the first part is going to be negative infinity to 0? Yeah, okay. So negative infinity till 0. I have a question. What kind of circle is that? It's a closed circle. So should I include that x equals 0 with the first part? Of course, so I'm going to put the bracket at 0 like that. How would I write that in inequality? X is less than or equal to 0. Now let's look at the second part, which is the linear function here. What kind of x value does that linear function cover? Starts at 0 all the way to the positive infinity. What kind of circle is that? At x equals 0. That's the open circle. So please, please, please do not include 0 to the positive infinity. So x is going to be greater than 0. Cool? All right, now we have all the information. Let's write it down. So the first part equation was what? X squared for what x value? X is less than equal to 0. So this means when x is less than equal to 0, the left half of the graph is going to look like a x squared. All right, what about the right half? It was the what? X minus 1 for what x value? X was greater than 0. So this kind of tells you what kind of x your graph is going to cover, and the left side tells you the equation of the function. Cool? All right, then let's do the second part. Evaluate using the graph. All right, so still some of you are still confused about what this means. This means find the y value when x is negative 2. So find the function y when x is negative 2. So let's see on the graph when x is negative 2. Boop, what's the y value? 4. So it's a negative 2 comma 4, so it's going to be 4. Let's go. When x is negative 1, what's the y value? 1. When x equals 0, oh, folks, this is very, very important. When x equals 0, Mrs. Major, there are 2 points. Which one should I choose? Well, shouldn't you choose the closed circle one? Yes, the open circle means, folks, there's nothing there. So you need to look at this point. When x value is 0, what's the y value? 0. X equal 1, what's the y value? 0. X equal 2, what's the y value? 1. Okay, so that's from the graph. Now I'm going to do the right side using the equation. So I'm going to use the equation over here. So how do you do it? Once again, this is asking you to find the y value when x is negative 2. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to determine whether you're going to use to the first equation or the second equation, because we have 2 choices, right? How do you choose? First, determine where your x values fall into. Notice this is x is negative 2. Folks, is negative 2 less than or equal to 0, or is negative 2 greater than 0? Which one? Negative 2 is less than or equal to 0. That means we have to use the first equation. Okay, so you don't use both of them. You gotta use, sorry, one of them. So plug it in over here. So negative 2 squared is, oops, 4. Do you get it? All right, so same thing, negative 1. Which one should I go? Is negative 1 less than or equal to 0 and negative 1 greater than 0? Negative 1 is less than or equal to 0, so first one again. Negative 1 squared, 1. 0. Is 0 less than or equal to 0? Is 0 greater than 0? Oh, less than or equal to 0, so 0 squared, 0. 1. Is 1 less than or equal to 0? Nope, 1 is greater than 0. So now you're going to plug into the second one. So 1 minus 1 is 0. And 2, same thing, you're going to plug into the second one. 2 minus 1 is 1. Notice left and right, same answer. That's good. So no matter what you plug it in, whether that's the graph or that's the equation of the function, you should still get the same y value. Cool? All right, now let's look at the next page. Hold on, I'll get there. All right, so sorry, folks. I'm trying to use Zoom at the same time, so this is just not helping. There you go. All right, so the back page. Now that we talk about piecewise function, try this on your own. Notice, folks, the previous page and this page both only have 2 pieces going on. You can have more than 2. You can have 3, you can have 4. It doesn't really matter. Okay? So I'll keep that in mind. So I have 2 pieces again. I'm going to work a little backwards. So instead of writing the equation, I'm going to write for the x value first. So as you can see, the first part over here, I'm kind of going to draw a little dotted line for my own sake. Tell me what kind of x value does my first graph cover? Do you notice that the first part cover from negative infinity all the way to what x value? Boop, 1, right? So, but at 1, for the first part, I don't want to include that because there's an open circle. That means I just want x to be strictly less than 1. X is strictly less than 1 for the first part. What about the second part? It starts at 1 all the way to the infinity. Should I include 1? Yes, it's open circle. Excuse me, closed circle. So I need x to be greater than or equal to 1. So x is greater than or equal to 1. Are you good? All right, now let's come up with the equation. So as you can notice, if the linear function passes the y-intercept, that's the easy to do. Why? Because now you can just quickly find out what the b value is. Correct? So since the first one passed the y-intercept, let's just use that. So y-intercept is 4. So it's going to be plus 4. What's the slope? 1 up, 1 right. 1 up, 1 right. 1 over 1 is 1. So y is equal to x plus 4 for the first part. Now look at the second part. Notice that it starts over here. That means I don't have a y-intercept. There are 2 ways you can do this. You can extend it using the same slope to find out what the y-intercept is and then find the slope. Or you can pick another point and plug it in. I'm going to show you both ways. For this problem, it's probably easy to just extend it, right? What's the slope? It's the 2 up, 1 left. 2 up, 1 left. So yes, there's no part when x is less than 1, but I can still extend it to find what the y-intercept is, to find the equation of the function, which is what? Negative 1. So y is equal to mx minus 1. What's the slope? 2 down, 1 right. 2 down, 1 right. 2 down, 1 right. It's going to be negative 2. So y is equal to negative 2x minus 1. So this one was easy because that was close by. What if you don't have close to the y-axis? Then what are you going to do? Well, let me tell you other way of doing it. So that's one way to do it. Second way you can do it is, well, at least I know the slope is 2 down, 1 right, so it's a negative 2. So I'm going to do y is equal to negative 2x plus b. Now how I'm going to do it? What I'm going to do? I'm going to pick another point. Well, actually, you can pick that point. It doesn't matter. Which is what? 1 comma negative 3. And plug it in. So negative 3 is equal to negative 2 times 1 plus b. Negative 2b plus b is equal to negative 3. b must be negative 1. So y-intercept is negative 1. You still get the same thing. Okay, so you should know how to come up with a linear equation function that way. Excuse me. All right, so I did the equation. Now let's evaluate it. G of negative 6, that's a y value when x is negative 6. When x is negative 6, what's the y value? Boop, negative 2. X is 1, y value, should I go up or down? I want the closed circle. So when is 1, y value is negative 3. When x is 2, boop, can't see, is it here? Negative 5. And you can actually do this by plugging in over here too, but I'm not going to do it. You should just look at the same answer. Cool? All right, let's scroll down and finish it up. Let's do things a little differently now. I'm going to give you the piecewise function, and I want you to use it to evaluate some x values and then graph it, which we're going to do in next class, actually. All right. So when you want to evaluate it using the equation, what did I say the first? Well, first of all, this is asking you to find the y value when x is negative 6. So how should I do it? First thing is you're going to determine whether you're going to use the first one or the second piece or the third piece by looking at your x value. X is negative 6, so where should it go? Negative 6 goes to the first one. So you're going to plug it into the first one. 1/3 times negative 6 minus 1 is, wow, sorry, negative 3. That's a horrible handwriting. You know what? In fact, I actually want to recommend you pause this video. Okay, try all this value and just double check it with me. Okay, so pause it. Come back. Well, hopefully you have paused it. Then let's go. So second, negative 3. It's going to go to the first one again. 1/3 times negative 3 minus 1 is, wow, this is horrible handwriting. Just look at the notes. That's negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. So this is negative 2. 0, where should it go? The middle. 0. Oh, Mrs. Major, there's nowhere to plug it in. You sure? Your y value is just going to be 2. 1, where should 1 go? Right here, the second one again. Y value is 2. Negative 2.99999, where will it go? Negative 2.999 is actually over here to the second one because it's bigger than negative 3. So plug it in, 2. Negative 3.1, that's less than negative 3. So first one. So it's going to be what? 1/3 times negative 3.001 minus 1 is negative I don't know, whatever, too lazy. 1.8 goes the last one, 1.8 squared. I don't have a calculator, something. Look at the notes. 10, the last one, 10 squared is 100. Cool? All right. So how many pieces are there? 1, 2, 3. 3 pieces. When you graph the piecewise function, what will be the leftmost piece look like? So what's the left one? When x is less than or equal to negative 3. What kind of function is that? That's a linear function. So a straight line with a positive slope. So do you agree that it's going to look like this? All right, just a straight line with a positive slope. All right, what about the middle one? Y is equal to 2. What kind of function is that? Y is equal to 2 is the constant function, horizontal line. And in fact, it's going to be open circle and close circle. So I'm just going to open circle and close circle. Last one, the right end, when x is greater than 1, x squared. Well, it's a quadratic function, which looks like a parabola. However, I don't want the whole thing. I want when x is what? Greater than 1. So 1 is over here. So you just want the right piece. So it's going to look like just this part. So next lesson, we're going to learn how to graph it. Cool? Well, thank you for paying attention. If you didn't understand it, just watch it over and over again. Or email me. Or if I'm there today, ask me a question. Thank you.